For years now, lost media has been a hot topic on the internet. Typically, people have their favorite pieces, typically well-known pieces like Hitogata, Clockman, or Metropolis. Still, there are many more pieces that, while not as well known, deserve not only equal time in the spotlight, but just as much chance to be found. These are those pieces. This is lesser-known lost media.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Mr. Sean, and welcome to volume 58 of Lesser Known Lost Media, the show where I cover lost media that you just don't hear about much here on YouTube. A little bit of channel news. Tuesday of this week, earlier, we did finally reach 900 subscribers, and as promised, I released the song Looking for a Neckbeard on the channel. This happened Tuesday night just before I went to bed, and when I woke up in the morning, we'd lost 3 subscribers. So hopefully since then we've made them back, and we're at 900 again, but who knows? I record these a little bit in advance, so, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, as we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. How this works, if you're new, is I start with 4 completely family-friendly, safe-for-work pieces of lesser-known lost media, take a brief ad break, and then we end with a 5th, spicier piece of lost media. Let's begin. At number 1 today, we have Kensho Kai, partially found recordings of stage show by Japanese religious group from 1995 to 2002. Kensho Kai is a Nichiren Shoshu Buddhist group based in Saitama City, in Saitama, Japan, founded in 1957 by Jinbei Asai as Miyoshinko and renamed to its current group name in 1996. Kensho Kai often staged stage plays as entertainments for events such as camps. Unlike most stage plays, however, they used characters such as Doraemon without permission to propagate missionary activities and ideas. So yes, we're specifically talking about these stage plays, and what became known about this stage play was a video recording of a stage play using Doraemon characters posted on Nico Nico on October 17th of 2015. The setting of the play was very different from the original Doraemon, as all the main characters, including Doraemon and Nobita, were followers of Kensho Kai, ridiculing Taisaku Ikeda, the president of Soka Gakkai, a famous Japanese religious organization with which they are in conflict. And finally, Nobita talking about his determination to strive to develop Kensho Kai. Needless to say, this was very different than the original Doraemon series. In addition, the theme song A New Oath from the Pokemon anime special The Legend of Thunder, which has nothing to do with Doraemon, was played as background music at the start of the plays, making a strong impact on Nico Nico users who watched the video. It then became a meme on the Japanese internet as Doraemon Kensho Kai, and became popular in some circles. It turns out that the play in the video posted was performed at the Kensho Kai Boys Club Camp in August of 2002. The play also reveals that Doraemon's stage play was also performed last year, but we know from Doraemon's statement that it was not performed at the Boys Club Camp for some reason, and the whereabouts of the video was shrouded in mystery for some time due to a statement made at the start of the play by the narrator asking the audience member's followers if they had seen last year's play on video. On November 5th, 2021, a video recording of a Doraemon stage play performed at a Kensho Kai Girls Club camp was also posted on Nico Nico. This Girls Club version has the same storyline as the Boys Club version first posted, but the performers, some of the direction, and dialogue are different. On June 16, 2022, a video recording of the Doraemon stage play performed at the August 2001 Kensho Kai's Girl Club Camp was posted as well to Nico Nico. This video is the last year's Doraemon stage play as stated in the Boys Club version of the video. The story of the play is a prequel to both the Boys Club version posted in 2015 and the Girls Club version posted in 2021. The background music at the start of the play was the theme song OK from the Pokemon series Gold and Silver. Again, unrelated to Doraemon, but some of the elements in the play were related to Doraemon, such as Doraemon taking a secret tool out of his pocket and the Doraemon theme song being played. So we have these 3 Doraemon plays, and apparently they're fully available. So what exactly is lost? lost? Well, there are supposedly several other plays featuring other characters, and it's not known if there are additional Doraemon plays that we don't have access to. As of right now, only the Doraemon plays are confirmed, but there is testimony that plays with other characters exist, such as Choriki Sentai O-Ranger. This is the 19th Super Sentai series that aired from 1995 to 1996, and there are several accounts of actually seeing the stage play, which took place on December 10th of 1995 at the Yokohama Arena Sports and Culture Festival. There is also a testimony that there was a scene in the play in which O-Ranger defeats a villain named Ikidarusaurus, who is an imitation of Taisaku Ikeda. There is also apparently a Kenshokai a play performed at the Women or Ladies Club camp in August of 2001, and unlike Doraemon, it was not performed as a camp entertainment, but to entertain the children who were temporarily left in its care. According to the blog, a former leader of the Kenshokai Women's Club, there was a children's round table discussion where a stage play of Anpanman was performed, and there was a scene in which Anpanman defeats Taisaku Ikeda. There is also testimony on a 5chan thread that a viewer saw a video of a Pokemon stage play, but at present that is the only testimony that exists, and it is considered not to be very credible. This one is interesting to me because it's the Japanese equivalent of if here in America a Christian sect was more or less feuding with a different Christian sect and decided to make a bunch of stage plays using Disney characters featuring Looney Tunes music, where these characters defeat the leader of the other sect of Christianity. And it's kind of nuts to think that a religious group would, religious groups doing crazy things is old news, but the fact that they're using such blatant copyright infringement, I don't know how big Doraemon's creators are, or Anpanman, or the Sentai series are with protecting their copyrights, but I know Nintendo and Game Freak are very, very litigious, so the unlicensed use of like Pokemon theme music is nuts to me, but this one's just really, really interesting. At number 2, we have Olapop, a partially found Eraserheads music video from 1995. Eraserheads were a Filipino rock band formed in 1989, known for their songs like With a Smile, Ligaya, Magasin, and Ang Huling El Bimbo. The band became one of the most iconic bands in the Philippines and was dubbed the Beatles of the Philippines and Banda ng Masa. Some of their songs, however, sparked controversy, one of which is Olapop. Olapop, which apparently in English means cloud, is a song from their second album, Circus. It was released in 1994 as the album's 4th hit single and the band's 9th hit single. The song was based on an interpolated earlier English songs. Senator Tito Soto called for the banning of Olapop in August of 1995, as he said the lyrics were about drugs. The band denied the claim and explained the song is about freedom through a letter to Tito Soto. Decades later, Buendita later admitted that it really was about drugs. Now, as to the lost media, a music video was filmed to promote the single in 1995 that was allegedly unreleased. However, some fans said they saw it back then and theorized that it was released for a short time but was eventually pulled out due to the controversy. A short clip of the music video was shown in the documentary Banda ng Masa by Jay Taruk for Eyewitness, which aired on GMA 7. The source material was said from a certain Sandy Angeles, who is unknown if she directed it or was just given the source material. It shows footage of the band at Tita Beth's Carindieria, footage of West Camias and Quezon City, an orphanage, and bungee jumping. I find this one fun mostly due to the fact that in all likelihood it was pulled due to the fact that a senator rightly figured out that this song was about drugs. You know, they were like, no, it's about freedom, but they're like, nah, later, like, nah, it was drugs. So knowing that the senator was right, they probably didn't want to bring too much, they probably didn't want to get too much publicity. Like, sometimes not all publicity is good publicity, especially if you're in a country with very strict drug rules, which I believe the Philippines has. So in all likelihood, they just decided not to release the video or to release it for a short time, then pull it. But I think that's honestly what makes this so interesting to me is it's a lost media, it's a piece of lost media because somebody who was not the intended audience figured out the secret message. Definitely some Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds vibes, which is fitting considering they're the Filipino Beatles. At number 3, we have The Adventures of Dewey the Dolphin, lost build of unfinished video game for the arcade, the Genesis, and the Nintendo Entertainment System from 1991. The Adventures of Dewey the Dolphin, also simply known as Dewey the Dolphin, is an unreleased title for the Nintendo Entertainment System that was originally meant to come out in 1991. Dewey the Dolphin was meant to be published by the Illustrious Ocean Software, a figurehead in video game publishing through the 1980s and 1990s. It was programmed by Alan Scott and had graphics made by John Palmer. The game was originally sought out to be a coin-operated arcade game, but later switched to the Sega Genesis/Mega Drive due to budgeting reasons, and its final version would have been ported onto the Nintendo Entertainment System. Rumors speculate that the project was cancelled due to its similarities to the upcoming Sega Genesis title Ecco the Dolphin, although Ecco would not be released until December of 1992. Another likely explanation for Nintendo shutting down the development of the project was due to it having a late launch window. In late 1990, the Super Famicom launched in Japan, and its American equivalent, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, was slated for a Western launch in 1991. Despite this, NES games were still commonly sold in the very early 90s, although their scale would obviously drop. The Adventures of Dewey the Dolphin was announced in issue number 13 of Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine with the following blurb. Swim through the depths of the ocean, watching out for all of the hungry fish who are looking for a tasty morsel for dinner. Meet up with Neptune, the ocean god. No prototype has been made available, and apart from 2 screenshots, little to no other information on the game is known. To me, this one is interesting because when I read the title, my first thought was, oh, was this an early build of Ecco the Dolphin, which was a game that I know a lot of people have fond memories of. I didn't really like it as a kid. My mom was obsessed with me, she's like, oh, you should play Ecco the Dolphin. So, and as much as I didn't want to, she was like, no, it's a dolphin game. It looks cute. It's fun. You should rent it. And so we got it from Blockbuster, and I found the game very confusing, and I never got very far. So I have memories of Ecco the Dolphin, not necessarily fond ones, but I know it was a huge game that a lot of people loved, and my thought was that Dewey the Dolphin was like an early prototype of that, but apparently, no, completely different game, but in all likelihood, it was cancelled, one due to the developing technology, as well as possibly Ecco the Dolphin being released the next year. So that's I didn't quite get it right, but I was in the ballpark. At number 4, we have Mr. Squiggle, partially lost Australian puppet TV series from 1959 to 1999. And for those of you who can't do math, that's 40 years that this show was on the air. Mr. Squiggle, also known as Mr. Squiggle and Friends, is an Australian puppet TV series that aired from July 1st of 1959 to July 7th of 1999. So yeah, it did get a full 40 years. It was at first a short series on ABC's Children's TV Club, and then moved to its own show. The show aired in various formats from 5-minute slots to 30-minute segments during the 40 years of its broadcast. It is one of the most popular Australian children's programs and toured around Australia to entertain several generations. The plot of the show focused on Mr. Squiggle, an alien from the moon that comes to Earth to draw upside drawings. Kids will send in squiggles, and Mr. Squiggle will come to finish the drawings. What Mr. Squiggle will do is he'll draw on these drawings in different angles and make up a new drawing out of the existing drawing. The show will also put in some jokes and messages for kids who watched it. So what is lost of this beloved show? Well, despite being very popular and being one of the longest running Australian TV programs, many episodes are lost. It did have a few DVD and VHS releases, but those are rare and hard to come by online. However, there are a few clips and episodes around on YouTube. So while the Lost Media Wiki doesn't really have a list of just how many episodes are lost, I would imagine it's quite a few if there are limited releases of any type of home media, and most of what we have is just from clips on YouTube that seemingly said to be mostly from unknown episodes. So I don't know if it's even well known how many episodes exist, and I think that that's kind of tragic, because a show that is apparently was beloved for 40 years, and probably some kids still get to watch reruns today. I don't know if it's still airing over in Australia, but a show that shaped as many childhoods as this one probably did, it's a shame that there were not better efforts made to preserve it and make it available to its fan base. And that's a big part of the Lost Media community, is that it is spreading the awareness of the importance of archiving for future generations. And it sounds like Mr. Squiggle is a great example of why that needs to be done, because this show was so popular that it made it for 40 years, which is even longer than The Simpsons, I believe. Yeah, but no, apparently a lot of it's lost, and that's sad. Alright guys, we're going to get to that spicy piece of Lost Media here in just a second, but as always, now it's time for the ad break. Today's request is simple. If you're enjoying this content, please give it a like and leave a comment. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And also guys, if you know anybody who would like the content on my channel, please share the videos to them so that they can like, comment, and subscribe as well. Again, like I said, we're at 901 subscribers. We dropped down to, we lost 4 of them overnight at the time of recording, and I'd really like not only to get back up to 900, but I'd like to get all the way to 1,000 and then some, just in case, you know, my goal is to get this channel monetized, and I need at least 1,000 subscribers to do that, so I would like to get enough subscribers that we can lose a few here and there, and my channel won't lose its monetization once it gets it. So if you like this content and you want to see it continue, please help this channel by sharing it with others. Then we can all enjoy this content together, and, I can make a little bit of money, which would be amazing, honestly. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys, and let's get to that final piece. Alright guys, today number 5, our spicy piece of media, is the least successful secret camera. Lost Doncaster police recordings of squash club changing rooms from 1978. In May and June of 1978, Doncaster police were investigating a thief reported to have stolen valuables from a squash club's changing rooms on multiple occasions. To catch the culprit red-handed, a hidden camera was placed in the changing rooms. However, the resulting footage that was acquired triggered newspaper reports, with the Book of Heroic Failures hailing it as the least successful secret camera. Doncaster Police's Criminal Investigation Department, CID, was called into a local squash club after its members discovered a thief was on the prowl. On several instances, the thief had purloined money and valuables from clothes left unattended in the changing rooms. The CID, led by Detective Inspector Mick Burtis, soon realized that their culprit was likely to strike again and hatched a logical plan: place a hidden camera inside the changing rooms. Not only would this provide concrete evidence in a trial, but would also swiftly allow the police to arrest the thief before they could escape. The camera was in action for about a week, as newspaper reports on the matter were published on the 2nd of June of 1978. It can be assumed the investigation began no earlier than late May. Despite Doncaster Police's best efforts, it appeared the investigation would run cold. But during a regular tape review, something unexpected caused all the investigators to suddenly burst into laughter. As it turned out, a fellow off-duty police officer was among the squash club members. Having hoped to cap off a presumably enjoyable game of squash, he soon discovered to his horror that his underwear had been nicked. According to Burtis in an interview with the Daily Mirror, the stark-naked officer was absolutely furious and made a number of frustrated gestures while searching for his pants, all to no avail. Since the incident was recorded on silent film, the policeman's dialogue was indecipherable. Naturally, newspapers like the Daily Mirror, Liverpool Daily Post, and Liverpool Echo swiftly reported on this faux pas. The incident was subsequently listed in the Book of Heroic Failures as the least successful secret camera when considering the investigation's ironic and unfortunate outcome. Despite this, the Daily Mirror reported that the police decided to review a live feed one last time before they finally gave up on the investigation. It was there that they managed to identify a man rummaging around and clearly committing acts of theft. With this, the police immediately arrested the culprit and ended the case on a successful note. The identities of the policeman and thief were not documented in any available source. Additionally, the investigation concluded just a month before British police were accused of unethical nationwide surveillance, including via hidden cameras and phone tapping. As to the availability of this footage, likely because of its crude nature, as well as to avoid further embarrassing the red-faced policeman, the least successful secret camera recording is not believed to have ever been publicly surfaced. It is unclear whether the thief's recording was ever released beyond his day in court. Ultimately, this case likely would have remained a footnote in British police history were it not for the Book of Heroic Failures brief summary of the incident. I mean, guys, I don't really have to go into why I find this one interesting. This one's just funny. So, I enjoyed reading this one. I guarantee you that the officer in question got some real good razzing from his fellow policemen for quite a while after this one. And also, as far as like cops being caught on video behaving badly, this one's oddly wholesome. And I think we need that more than ever these days. And that's the video, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for volume 58 of Lesser Known Lost Media. I can't believe we're almost at 60 of these. You know what? In the comments, both in this video and in volume 59, when that comes out next week, give me ideas for something special to do for the 60th episode of this series. I have no words for just how fun this series has been to make and how much I have enjoyed your comments, your suggestions. This is the channel, this is the show that made this channel actually start to grow. After over a year of having less than 50 subscribers, in about 2 years' time, I think a little less than that, this channel has gotten all the way to, well, at this point, almost 900 subscribers, mostly thanks to this series. So thank you, each and every one of you, for helping make this possible. This is a great series. I enjoy making it as almost as much as you seem to enjoy watching it. So it will continue. And if you have any suggestions for like really obscure pieces of Lost Media, like ones so obscure they're not even mentioned on the Lost Media wiki, I would love to start finding even more obscure pieces to show on this channel, and for that I do need your help. So please leave a like, comment your favorite piece of lesser known Lost Media that I have yet to cover in the comments, and again, subscribe if you have not already, and share the video around. Until next time, everybody, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Chimera Miniatures, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the show, we hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, 'cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay, we hope we make you proud. Welcome to the show, we hope you'll stick around. Mr. Sean is here to entertain the crowd. We've got a bit of everything, 'cause everything's allowed. Chimera Miniatures is here to stay, we hope we make you proud.